It's time for another video adding to my copper hoarding collection. Looking for a few more wheat pennies, maybe some Canadians. One of these days I might even get another Indian head penny. I've only found one or two, but every now and then you get lucky. Let's get started. I have found on average I've said this before, about 3 pounds of copper for each box of pennies. I usually get on a good about 10 wheat pennies. I've gotten a little bit less, but I've gotten a few more. So average is about 10. And we're hoping to get at least our average today. Maybe I'll get lucky and find a dime or two. I get those every now and then. Those are always welcome. I use my nice little lit glass to help me see because I'm 60 years old. Copper goes in one box, zinc goes in another. And we keep our eyes open for 1972 S right off the bat. That's cool. Copper. Copper. And I'll keep my eye open for different years for the different varieties that are out there. And when they're just gnarly looking, I don't even mess with it. I just throw it in the zinc pile. Here's a super nice 1978 copper. The copper that goes in the box here is from 1959 to 1981. The 82s, I throw in my little jar and I weigh them at the end because I have found that it's always more than 50% of them are copper. So I take the time. It just takes a minute or so. One of the 2009 specialty years. Lincoln. There's our first roll. Got a couple of coppers out of there. Look at that. The very next roll. I wish I'd left the camera on for a couple of rolls. There's a Wheatie already. The second roll. That's cool. 1941. That's good. Pretty cool. Philadelphia. Well, there's one. Second roll. That's cool. Copper. A few rolls later, I was opening a roll and it busted open on me and went everywhere. But right there in front of me sat another Canadian penny, or my first Canadian penny in this box, and it is copper. 1989. It's the 12-sided kind. They're 98% copper. They're lighter weight, but they're still 98% copper. So that's cool. I just came across my second wheat penny a few rolls later. $19.54D. Very nice. There's two. Cool. Some coloring on that thing. Interesting. I'll sit aside and take a closer look. See a few more coppers in here. I was pulling out the copper in that row, and I came in another one in that same row, a 1950 Philadelphia. So it's two Wheaties from that row. Very cool. Next to that was another copper, 67. That one I was looking at that I pulled out, that is a nice rainbow tone. Looks like it was offset too. That's some nice coloring on that. I'll definitely keep that one aside. Well, just a roll or two later, I come across another wheat. $19.50D. That's 4. I mean, we're moving along pretty well here. I mean, I got a long way to go. Copper. Copper. And the copper. Well, I am certainly not halfway through my rolls of pennies. They're over there. And I have found another one. This is number 5. This is halfway to that 10 point that I like to find. 10 per roll. Sorry, 10 per box. Oh, another 1941. Very nice. Cool. Copper, 64. 82, put that aside to weigh. These here, you don't even have to look at them. If you're just going for copper, just fly right past them. And a copper. Cool. I think maybe this penny came out of a barrel of toxic waste. What is that growing on there? That's disgusting. Let's see what else we've got. There's another 82. Got about 10 of those so far. Another 82. Oops. $59. First year of the memorial. And it's copper. I cannot read that, so it'll go in my zinc box. I believe that says 84. 83. Well, other than the 82s, I think I only got 4 copper out of that box. I think I'm doing pretty good, though, with the copper. Still not halfway through the box, and there is number 6 in the wheat pennies. What was that, 1940? 1946. Cool. Oh, there's another. 1956. That's 7. 7 wheat pennies already. That's really good. 56D. Cool. I've still only found the one Canadian. Toward the end of the very next roll, I found number 8, and it's a 1945. This is really going well. That's really doing good with the wheat pennies so far. That's amazing. Oh, in the jar. Still not halfway through. There is number 9. There's still 3 rolls to go after this, before we're finished with the first half, and we have already found 9 wheat pennies in this box. 58D, the very last year they made the wheat pennies. And then there's an 82, pretty bright fella. Another Wheatie, that's a nice one. That's got to be copper. Yep, 75. Cool beans. Now I am halfway through. There's the last of the rolls. I've got 9 wheat pennies, got 1 Canadian. This is that weirdly toned coin. It's kind of a nice color. I have several of the older coppers that are just in super nice condition set aside. I'm going to look at them a little closer. Pretty good amount of copper going. Here's my 82s I'll have to weigh. Pretty cool. This is a good box going so far. I did look up the copper. It's down a little bit. I believe they're worth 2.56 cents each today, which they were up to, 2.6, 2.7 cents each, but it's going to fluctuate. That's just the nature of commodities. And I will get into the second half now. Second roll into the second half, and I finally got my next Canadian. It's a 1982, the 12-sided. It's a good copper coin. It's the lighter weight of the copper, but it's still a good, I think it's 98% copper, I think it is, 98.5, something like that. Very nice. Those are cool coins. If you ever wonder, it takes 154 copper pennies to make a pound of copper. So actually it's probably a few coins less than that to actually be a pound of pennies, because 154 makes a pound of copper, and they're 95% copper, so there's that 5% difference. So it'd be a couple of coins off from that. But 154 makes a pound of copper. Several rolls into the second half, and there it is, number 10. It's funny, when I just start opening this roll, I said to myself, I bet it's this roll. I should go live, and I didn't. Kind of beat up, 1953D. There's 10. Surely we're going to get a few more than that. Then's got to be copper. It's an 82, but it's still probably copper. Look at that thing. Golly, it's been grinded down to nothing. Wow. I just wonder, when I was a little kid, we would take pennies, and on the blacktop concrete, we would scrape and scrape and scrape like this to make them thinner. We do this, and then we do this, and we could get them down to where they would fit into the dime gumball machines, and they would work. But you had to really work at it. Now, it looks like that's what somebody's done. Turned a penny into a dime as far as the vending machine was concerned. It's funny. They're probably more sophisticated today than they were then. I don't know. But that's definitely what's happened. Something along that line for sure. Let's go through a couple of rolls live just for the fun of it. See if we can come across a wheat penny as we go through them. I use my magnifier when I'm not using the phone so that I can see the dates better. This guy here. Copper. We'll see how many we get copper in there. This one's a maybe. It's an 82. Another 82. There's a copper. You know, talking about this crazy flattened thing, just thinking about, there's another 82. When I was a kid, I was born in 1960. And when we were 10, 11 years old, whatnot, there was a Dairy Queen. No, it was called, not Dairy Queen, Burger Queen down the road from me, which they've gone out of business now. I think they sold out to Druthers, who I think sold out to Hardee's. But anyway, they were competing with McDonald's, your Burger Queens. Another 82, good grief. And when we were kids, we would ride down there a couple miles down the road, and for 97 cents, we could get a hamburger, french fry, and Coke. 97 cents. So, you know, a dime just went farther back then. So turning a penny into a dime meant something. But, you know, it's wrong. It's stealing. So I'm not saying it was a good thing I did. Just a memory I have. Couldn't read that date, so I didn't bother. This one didn't do too good. Looks like just 5 copper pennies in that roll. Not very good. Zinc box. Alright, let's do one more here live real quick. I hope we get a wheat penny while we're like this. Copper. Copper. Copper, 67. Copper. Wow. 1969. That's nice. I'll set that aside over with these. That is a good looking coin for being as old as it is. Yeah, I thought that said 83. About to get them mixed up there. Copper, copper. 1980, here's copper. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8 in that one. No Wheaties. I'll turn it off again and go back to the way I was doing it, and then I'll probably find another Wheatie. There it is, almost right at the beginning of this roll. Number 11. Let's see what year it is. 1944, Philadelphia. Nice. I just love the look of those old coins. They're so classy to me. I think they're cool. Very simple. Copper. 82. Look at all of them. It's a bunch of them. Yeah. Copper. 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 Cool. Copper. Now, look, I was thinking of something a minute ago. When you look at the back of this, all shiny, even though it's not the newer design, you just almost know that it's going to be zinc. But I was thinking my dad grew up out in the country, and a lot of those country folks had some funny sayings. He said, I knew it wasn't her, but I didn't want to leave thinking it was. So I'll look, it's zinc. I remember another saying my dad told me that somebody said when he grew up on the farm. They said, I don't believe in ghosts, although I have seen a few. Unreal. Oh, look at that. Look at that. How cool. There's another one. 1953. Yep, 53D. There's 12. Right, that's a couple rows in this box that had double Wheaties. Cool beans. I don't believe in ghosts, although I have seen a few. 82. Copper. Copper, oh, that's interesting. I'll put it up there with the others. I like it when they keep their bright color like that after all those years. I am down to less than 10 rolls to go, and there is number 13, I believe it is. It's 1958, Philadelphia. That one was heads up. Copper. Another 82. I am getting so many 82s. A lot of weighing to do. Copper. Sound like the guy in those old cartoons, the old 50s, 40s movies. Copper. It's a copper. Just a few rolls left, and I finally found another Wheatie. This one is a 53S, San Francisco. And I think I said after that last one that was number 13. I went back and counted. That was only number 12. So if you're keeping score at home, you may have already known that. This is number 13. Copper. 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 Cool. Copper. And copper. Quite a few copper coins in this roll, not to mention the Wheatie. Look at there. One roll to go after this, and there is number 14. That's pretty cool. That's a nice amount of wheats for one roll. Another 58. I think that's at least the third 58. Pretty cool. You know, all of the wheats today, nothing really old today. I found a nice number of Wheaties, but they've all been from the 40s or 50s. Those are some yucky looking pennies there, ain't it? Copper. Scram, it's a copper. There's an 82. One more row. Alright, rounding up here, I had 14 wheat pennies in this box, which is pretty doggone good. 9 the first half, so, you know, I was hoping for 18. No, I'm kidding. 14 is really a really good number of wheats to get in one box. Couple of copper Canadians. That's that funny toned thing. That's the penny that's been tried to make a dime. Some of the really nice specimens, coppers, older, you know, 60s, 70s. I'm just going to set those aside. Of the 82s, all them, 57 of them were copper, just a handful of them were zinc. And that left me today just under 3 pounds of copper. 2 pounds, 13.3 ounces. Not to mention those and the wheat pennies, of course. But the ones I'm going to put in the box is 2 pounds, 13, just over 13 ounces. Pretty good box of pennies. Pretty good indeed. Hey, get out there and get you some boxes and go through them and start collecting wheat pennies and copper. It's just going to keep going up over time. Can't go wrong.